I never imagined a single tree could turn my quiet suburban life into a full-blown legal nightmare. But that's exactly what happened with a massive pecan tree that had stood on my property for over 200 years, a towering giant that shaded my yard and dropped nuts every fall like some generous old-timer. To me, it was a piece of history, a natural landmark in our Dallas neighborhood. To my nosy neighbor, Susan, it was a nuisance that cluttered her driveway and blocked her view of the community park. She hounded me for months to chop it down, and when I refused, she took matters into her own hands, hiring a shady crew to cut it without permission. The tree crashed right in her living room, wrecking her roof and her prized SUV. You'd think that'd be the end of it, right? Nope. Susan sued me for the damage, claiming it was my fault. Buckle up, because this story is packed with entitlement, betrayal, and sweet justice. Our neighborhood in the suburbs of Dallas is the kind of place where everyone waves from their porches, kids ride bikes after school, and the HOA enforces rules like they're guarding Fort Knox. Perfectly trimmed hedges, matching garage doors, no visible trash cans. It's all about that upscale vibe. My wife Lisa and I moved here 5 years ago for the great schools and safe streets. We have 2 kids, Alex and Emily, who love climbing the pecan tree's lower branches. But lurking in this picture-perfect setup was Susan Reynolds, the self-appointed HOA enforcer. With her perfectly coiffed silver hair, oversized sunglasses, and that ever-present binder of regulations, she ruled the monthly meetings like a drill sergeant. If your fence was a shade off color or your holiday lights stayed up too long, Susan was on it with a violation notice faster than you could say community standards. The trouble started innocently enough. Susan lived right across the street, and she complained about the pecans rolling into her yard or the shade, making her flowers wilt. At first, it was casual chats over the fence. "Mike, that tree's getting out of hand. It drops debris everywhere." I'd politely explain it was healthy, inspected annually by a certified arborist, and even protected under local heritage laws because of its age rumored to have been planted by early Texas settlers. But Susan wasn't hearing it. She escalated to official HOA complaints, stuffing my mailbox with pink slips, citing unsightly overgrowth and potential hazard. I laughed it off at first, but it grated on me. Why couldn't she mind her own business? Things got ugly when she started rallying the neighbors. At barbecues, she'd corner folks, whispering about how the tree could topple in a storm and crush someone's house, conveniently ignoring that it had survived hurricanes and droughts for centuries. One night, she even showed up at my door with a petition signed by her and her spineless husband, demanding I remove it for neighborhood safety. I refused, citing the law and my arborist report. That's when her eyes narrowed, and she hissed, "If you won't handle it, someone else will." I shrugged it off as empty threats, but deep down I knew she was plotting. Susan was the type who'd once fined a family for parking their RV an inch over the line, then gloated about it online. Her entitlement knew no bounds. It made my blood boil just thinking about how she twisted rules to suit her whims. The climax hit one crisp autumn morning while my family was away on a weekend trip to Austin. I got a frantic call from a neighbor. Chainsaws were buzzing at dawn. By the time I raced back, it was chaos. Susan had hired 3 rough-looking Gisno uniforms. No permits to hack away at my tree. They claimed she told them it was on her land and an emergency. I burst out yelling, phone in hand, recording everything. The sawdust flying, the branches crashing down, Susan standing smugly on her driveway, barking orders like a foreman. "Hurry up before he causes trouble," she shouted. I dialed 911, demanding they stop for trespassing and illegal removal of a protected tree. But it was too late. The trunk groaned, leaned wrong, and slammed into her house with a thunderous crack. Shingles exploded, windows shattered, and her SUV crumpled like tin foil. Neighbors gawked from their lawns, kids peeking through curtains. Susan screamed bloody murder, pointing at me. "Your fault. You're a hazardous tree." The police arrived, lights flashing, and took statements. I showed them my video, the property survey stakes proving the tree was mine, and the lack of any city permit. The arborist from the Dallas Parks Department confirmed. This was a vital, healthy specimen of rot, no risk. Susan tried spinning it as a natural fall due to my neglect, but her lies crumbled when witnesses piped up about her directing the crew. The workers bolted, but I caught their license plate. That day was pure rage. I grieved my tree, a family heirloom, while Susan played victim, demanding I pay for her mess. It was infuriating. How could someone be so brazen? She didn't stop there. Days later, I got served papers. Susan was suing me for negligence, demanding $150,000 for repairs, hotel stays, and emotional distress. Her complaint twisted facts, claiming I'd ignored warnings and let a ticking bomb endanger her. I was livid. This woman destroys my property, causes her own disaster, and now wants me to foot the bill? I lawyered up immediately. My attorney, a sharp Dallas litigator named Tom, grinned. She's dug her own grave. We'll countersue for trespass, property destruction, and more. We gathered ammo, vacation receipts proving I was gone, police reports, arborist valuations pegging the tree at $200,000 due to its rarity, and depositions from the crew admitting Susan paid cash and lied about boundaries. The depositions were gold. Susan sat there, fidgeting as Tom grilled her. You told police it fell naturally, but now say my client hired the man. Which is it? She stammered, face reddening, caught in her web of contradictions. Neighbors testified to her obsession, one even submitting photos of her measuring my yard at night like a stalker. It was maddening to relive her harassment, the constant notices, the whispers turning friends against me temporarily. But the evidence piled up, exposing her arrogance. She tried delaying tactics, flooding us with motions, but Tom turned it against her, billing for every wasted hour. Court day was electric. The judge, a no-nonsense Texan, heard all. The arborist's testimony on the tree's value, the crew's admissions of Susan's rush job without safety gear, and my video playing like a damning movie. Susan took the stand, fake tears flowing, claiming she acted for community good. Tom shredded her. You trespassed, cut without permits, admit it. She exploded, yelling about my selfishness, but the judge banged his gavel. Order. In closing, Tom nailed it. This isn't negligence. It's vigilante entitlement. The verdict? I won. Susan is liable for $250,000 tree value, fees, punitives. She gasped, storming out, ranting, You'll regret this. Justice didn't end there. Susan's insurance denied her claim for intentional acts. The city fined her and ordered her to plant 8 new pecans on her lot as mitigation irony at its finest, blocking her precious view forever. The HOA booted her from the board, reformed rules for transparency. Our neighborhood breathed easier. Folks started chatting without fear, even hosting block parties again. I planted a young pecan in the old spot, naming it Legacy with the kids. Susan glares from her porch, but her power's Ganesh's just a bitter shadow now. What do you think? Should HOA busybodies like Susan face harsher penalties? Or is this karma enough? Share your take in the comments. Whose side are you on, and why? Let's debate.